Hello everyone, and this is my reaction to Attack on Titan, the final season, episode 10. Last time on Attack on Titan, so we finally caught up to what the crew on Parody has been doing for the last 3 years after they made it to the sea. So we saw the first Marian scout ship that had been sent there, which Yelena and Onyankopon were a part of, and we saw how they met Hanji and the others and how they joined up with them. And so I didn't read the information available last time either, so I'll take a look at that right now. Information available for public disclosure. Scout Fleet. Formed to investigate Paradis Island after the operation to retake the founding Titan had failed. The first fleet embarked in 851. Over the following 3 years, approximately 4,006 soldiers aboard a total of 32 scout ships and destroyers were sent to Paradis Island. However, not a single one has returned to Marley to this day. Okay, so that was what they explained earlier in the season when Zeke talked about the scout ships to Commander Magath. So they explain about that, and so Yelena told them about Marley's military might and told them about why Marley hasn't launched an attack in the past 3 years. In the past year. First, there were the Titans that Marley sent that made it harder for them to land, but the Parody forces had managed to kill all the pure Titans that Marley has sent, which is actually pretty amazing given how long they spent in fear of the Titans. The fact that they made it this far is actually pretty amazing, and it just took them a single year after the Tross incident. Hanji's thing is what helped them a lot in that thing. So that's how they were able to do it. And second was the war with the Mideast allied forces was still going on at the moment. It was going to go on for 3 more years before they finally won the war. So Yelena said that her group was called the Anti-Marian Forces, whose goal was to free the alien people. And since she's a follower of Zeke Yeager, that's why she's doing all of this. She saw Zeke as a god or something like that, and so now she wants to fulfill his goals and free the people of Eldia. So they worked with the anti-Marian forces and were able to advance some technology on Paradis Island. It looked like they were starting to build a train and stuff, and they were sharing their equipment as well. They stopped all the scout ships that were sent over there. Not a single one made it back. I guess they killed all the soldiers that were on board the ships too. And Armin was still trying to find a peaceful solution despite everything they had to do. Like maybe talk to them and clear their misconceptions. But Aaron was saying, what misconceptions? I don't see any misconceptions. They think the way they do because we can transform into scary titans. And while they were there, they also had their first taste of seafood too. And Sasha was there too. They first captured a Marlian chef named Niccolo, who wasn't too fond of aliens at first, but after Sasha praised his food, saying it was the best thing she's ever eaten and called him a genius, that's how he converted, and that's how he started seeing the alien people for being people just like them. And when he found out that Sasha had died after they all made it back, he was really sad by it. So they made it back to Parody after what happened in Marley, and now Gabi and Falco are in prison, and and Levi has taken Zeke to the Forest of Giant Trees, his new hotel now. So that's where Levi and Zeke are going to be now. Levi just wants to kill Zeke so badly, doesn't he? And I'm not sure what's going to happen to Aaron now. Because I was really saddened by Sasha's death. I remember at the end, kill or be killed, fight for your life. The same thing Aaron said to her when he saved her life 10 years ago. And Aaron was saying it too. The only way to live is to fight, so just keep fighting. So now they've made it back to Paradis. They've mourned for Sasha. We found out about the anti-Marian forces and how they got all their help. They never explained how they built the airship, but I had a theory that I talked about last time. So now let's see where they continue from here. Let's see what Aaron and the others are going to be doing now after they attacked Marley. This is Attack on Titan, the final season, episode 10, English dubbed.
Hey, you said so fight, just fight, right? But when you say so fight, just fight, it means that you're wanting to fight. I noticed that you said fight twice. Does that mean you'll fight 2 fights? Or
Hanji.
Your silence isn't. Though looking back, I guess you just listened as I rambled about my research. I had faith in you. I trusted that you would never sacrifice Historia.
Wait, that he never sacrificed Historia? Is that what you said? That he never sacrificed Historia? But I thought, what did Aaron do? There's something else that we haven't been told, isn't there? Did he do something to Historia since then? He said he wanted to save her life, but now what happened? Dun, 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 dun. Number 69. A sound argument. Okay. 2 years ago. Okay, so we're still doing this. What do you do to Historia?
This meeting is as far as we're willing to go.
Aaron's hair is just like Mika says.
The special envoy
Oh!
is Kiyomi Azumabito.
Oh! Wait, so we saw her in Marley.
That shape. Yeah, you should show it to them.
You have...
Before she died, my mom gave me this mark to match one she had herself. And she asked me to pass it down to my own children.
Over a century ago, Hizuru Shogun was an ally of the Eldian Empire. We
Oh.
Azumabitos trace our lineage back to a son who was on good terms with King Fritz and often visited here.
Oh!
A child fathered by the Shogun's heir was somehow left behind on this island. You are the only direct descendants of the family that once led our nation. But simply, you are Hizuru's hope.
Mikasa.
They keep saying the word nation. I still don't understand it. Unless it's a trap, that is.
Oh,
Right.
well, they don't know how to think that
Perhaps
way
we should
yet.
ask Yelena's opinion. In this world that our new port has connected us to, we may as well be a tottering child learning to walk.
True. I love Pixis. He's always paying attention to stuff.
So that symbol, why'd you only show it to Aaron? You've always worn that wristwatch.
Historia.
I've never seen you take it off. It seems our ancestors were friends. They've left us both with
Oh!
that I couldn't have asked
Oh.
match than you.
Oh, look at you. Oh, look at me. I
This
recently
piece
went back to
doesn't
season
belong to
2.
Marley. I procured it myself.
That's when he took from the soldier. Mike.
I ought to mention that.
It does need a special type of fuel to operate. It's exceedingly rare. They're calling it iceburst stone.
Ice burst.
It's only ever been mined in Paradis.
We suspect that in this modern era, a treasure like Iceburst Stone could change the world and generate a fortune in the process.
Ice.
Sounds
What?
like that's Hizuru's real hope. Yelena did say that negotiations would go well because the Azumabitos are money grubbers.
Yeah.
Hold on. So Zeke Yeager asked you to assist us? What would you assist us with?
It calls for a 3-point course of action which would allow you to defend yourselves with your so-called rumbling. This would begin with a test run of the rumbling. You would unleash a
test run?
fraction of the titans in your walls.
Enough to display their destructive potential.
But then how do you stop them afterwards?
That will buy you time with which to modernize and strengthen your army so as to render the rumbling unnecessary. Until then, you must be able to shake the earth.
By maintaining the founding titan and having a titan of royal blood.
That's the third point of this plan. Zeke will pass
So
on
just to
the
buy some
beast
time.
titan to an individual who has royal blood.
And
No!
this person
No!
has 13
Not Historia!
left, bearing as many
No!
titans as possible.
No!
Even if we get advanced weapons,
No.
will we really stop needing the rumbling?
No, 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 no.
Choose to rely on it. But is that enough?
This can't be the answer.
To push
I understand.
No!
And I'm ready. If the rumbling is
Historia,
essential
don't.
to our survival, I'll do
Think
my
back
part. I'm willing
to
to
Ymir.
inherit the Beast Titan from Zeke Yeager.
If Zeke's plan is to buy our salvation at the price of broken walls, trampled lands, and children bred to be slaughtered like livestock, then I say he can go to hell and take his sick little plan with him. Staking our survival on the threat of the rumbling is a dangerous move. So before we commit to it, we should try to find another way. Let's use what time we have to look at our options.
Aaron doesn't want to sacrifice Historia.
the same
I've taken the Warhammer Titan's power. Its hardening ability allows me to build structures from thin air, which means you can never build a prison deep or strong enough to hold me in against my will. I can leave this cell anytime I want.
Aaron.
Since I have the Founding Titan, you can't kill me.
You might threaten to kill Zeke, but that's not a real option either. So tell me, Hachi, is there anything you actually can do?
Aaron!
If you know
Hey.
something I don't, then let's hear it! If you've got something up your sleeve, then tell me what it is!
Oh my gosh, Aaron!
Hands off, you pervert!
After the rebellious team, huh?
Aaron was about to transform right there, wasn't he? He was about to transform right there. Like he was lighting and everything. Did he stop himself?
If no one else will say it,
So they're actually doing the plan then? But Aaron said he wouldn't do it.
He's someone she knows. Apparently, they grew up in the same area.
Oh.
As a kid, he'd throw rocks at the queen because she wouldn't leave her farm.
Okay.
She approached him in the end.
Ah. Okay.
I don't give a damn about their love story. If we were smart, we'd still do it. Turn her into a Titan whether she's pregnant or not.
Smart.
That would probably kill the child.
Exactly.
And if miscarrying kills the queen too, we're doomed.
Hey, Marley!
Man. Hey, come on. Who-
You should recommend this one.
What? Why?
Hey!
Oh, they're being train tracks.
You can win some friends in this world.
Who's carrying that?
It might be a long shot, but it could be.
That couldn't be Misaka, right? Sorry, not Mikasa, right? Railgun's confusing me.
You brats got taller. It's like you're sprouting up just a
Oh no, Levi!
Hear anything from Hizuru yet?
From what I hear, the world's major powers want parody to be the root of all evil. We're the shared foe that helps bring them together.
Oh.
Their hatred.
Do we have to rely on the rumbling?
Aaron didn't want.
Do we have no choice but to sacrifice Historia?
Why did Aaron do all this then?
The world's decided that we're devils, regardless of what our intentions are? They can't want us to repeat the past, so why won't they consider peace?
They don't know anything about us, and that makes them afraid.
I agree.
Yeah.
Our neighbors across the sea won't trust people whose faces they've never seen.
So let's sail out and meet them. If they don't know anything about us, then we'll just have to teach them.
Will that work?
That's what we scouts always do, right?
Well, I guess so, but how well
So
will
the
that?
plan is to infiltrate Marley and set up a base there, huh?
I like it. Auntie has
And then Aaron just.
right? It's exciting. It's a shadow of from a distance.
And then Aaron just went in.
If we can just find a way to convince the world that all we want is peace.
Is that what their original plan was?
My time will be up in just over 5 years. We need to make a decision soon.
But who to give my time to?
You mean your Titans?
I think it should be me.
No, not an option. We don't even know if Ackermans are able to turn into Titans.
Who do you think it should be?
This guy.
Huh?
First of all, I'm a whole lot smarter than Aaron.
You should aim to become the regiment's next commander. I'll inherit Aaron's Titan myself.
Yeah, that should work, right?
I don't know.
No, that won't work at all. You're way too much of an idiot.
Use your head, Connie.
We can't entrust it to someone who's slow like you.
Hey. Sasha.
I'll inherit it, okay?
Where's Sasha?
I'm an experienced veteran.
I mean, you know, we can't give his Titan to an idiot.
Ah.
But think, you're more of an idiot than me, which means
Oi!
you just contradicted yourself, right?
Oh no!
Huh?
Connie?
I'm not planning on handing it down to any of you.
Why not?
Because you're important to me. More than anyone else. I hope you live long lives.
And then why did Aaron go and attack Marley like that? They just lose all hope and said just, okay, not screw it, I'm gonna attack everybody. If you really care this much, how are things?
Hold on!
Just
What
2
are you
years?
turning red for? The hell kind of mood are you trying to set here?
What changed in Aaron in just 2 years?
It's just the sunset.
It's amazing how much they've advanced parody. I'm still seeing them on this train, they're so out in the open at this. What happened to Aaron though? That was just 2 years ago.
Maybe that's why he's become so combative towards anyone who isn't one of us. It's because his feelings are so strong.
No, that isn't it. He's always seen your strength, but the Aaron that we used to know would still try to keep you away from the front lines. But he used you in that battle, sent Armin to destroy that port. He called the rest of us important too, and he used us just the same.
But maybe that's just because he trusts us.
What do you think Aaron did when I told him she had died?
He was upset.
Bastard laughed.
And right after
I
that,
wonder what part of our friend's death that it was.
He found so damn amusing.
he had that angry face in his eyes.
Why did Aaron start laughing?
You know everything about him.
We can choose to turn someone who we can trust into a Titan, and then have them inherit the founder from Eren.
Oh man. That's not the idea. But who though? Zeke. Oh! Alright. These episodes end so unexpectedly. So we continue closing the 3 year time gap between the end of season 3 to the attack on Marley. So now we fast forward to a year after all that happened. So I think it was the same year that Eren, Mikasa, and Armin were talking about trying to clear the world's misconceptions of Marley. Because at that time, Eren said Zeke only had 3 years left to live, and now he only has 1 year left. So it could have been on the same year that that happened. So, so continuing the story. So first, Hanji visited Eren from his cell about how he said, "So fight, just fight." He kept talking to himself again, and Hanji was making fun about it, like asking, why he said it twice?" It was like, it's called the Attack Titan at the end of season 3. So first, Paradis Island gets their first visitors from another nation. That's not Marley. They meet a representative from a nation called Hizuru that was mentioned early on in the season. And the same woman from back then also showed up over here, Kiyomi Azuma Bito. So she came to help carry out Zeke Yeager's plan and save the people of and save the alien race. And so she showed them the crest of the Azuma Bito clan, and Mikasa had that same crest carved on her thing over here. I forgot exactly what they said about it. Just a second. Okay, so apparently their shogun was on good terms with the Eldian king, and sometime after the Great Titan War, their heir got left behind. Apparently, Misaka is a direct descendant of that heir, making her Hizuru's hope, as Kiyomi stated. So their plan was to do like a small rumbling to shake the world and halt it so that Paradis Island would have time to catch up to the rest of the world in terms of technology, because their technology is so old compared to the rest of the world. Marley has cars and stuff too, and have cameras and everything, and Paradis doesn't have all that. And we saw them building a train track on the island too. That's how far behind compared to everyone else. Because on Marley during the war, he had an armored train. They had gone past just normal trains and have started building trains for war as well. They were building rails all along the fort for the train to travel through, and Elia didn't get even one train on it. So we saw them all building a train track. They're all going through the day, putting steel beams, putting wooden rails, like them hammering away. Everybody was doing all that. And one more thing during that part, it looked like Mikasa was carrying like 3 steel beams all by herself. Like, I knew she was strong and all, but that's crazy. And so I also went back to seeing Hizuru's plan. So the plan is to just unleash a small amount of titans to shake the earth and scare the world with the rumbling, and in order to buy Paradis Island some time to catch up with the rest of the world that Hizuru would help them with. But since Zeke doesn't have long left to live, during that time he had to give the Beast Titans power to someone with royal blood, and then that person would have to keep bearing children. Unfortunately, the only one left they have that has royal blood is Historia, and Eren said in season 3 that he doesn't want to sacrifice Historia, and so they all weren't sure how to do it. And Eren said that they should just try and find another way. He was not happy with having to sacrifice Historia, and he wanted to find another way to do it, because this plan would have taken so long, and Zeke wouldn't have lasted that long. As of this point, he only has 3 years left to live, and they don't want to do that to Historia. They don't want to sacrifice her like that. At least Eren doesn't. And at first, Historia was a bit happy when she found out about how the Shogun of Hizuru was on good terms with the King of the Walls. That makes her and Mikasa somewhat related, in a way. And she's a bit happy about that. And Eren seemed a bit happy about it too. So yeah, so they weren't okay with that plan, and Eren was definitely not okay with it. He was not okay with sacrificing Historia like that. Those two grew quite close in season 3, didn't they? And so continuing in the past, they were discussing the plan to go back to Marley. And so we heard earlier that Eren acted on his own and that the attack was never what they had in mind. So I think we finally learned what their actual plan was. Their plan, so Armin was saying in the previous episode that they should fix the world's misconceptions of theirs. And Hanji was saying that the world is unified in their common hatred for Eldia and Paradis Island, saying that their hatred towards us is what holds the world together and keeps them at peace with each other. And if that falls apart, then what will happen to the rest of the world? They thought that they won't trust them because they don't know anything about them. So Hanji and Armin were thinking that maybe they should introduce themselves to the rest of the world and tell them the kind of people they really are, and hoping that would change their opinion of them. That was the actual plan with why they went to Marley. I think the original plan was for them to keep talking to people there, and trying to hopefully change their views on the people of Eldia, hoping that would change something. But then something happened, causing Eren to act on his own and end up causing this war and everything. Like he interfered with Willie Tyber's speech, and he ate him, and then he caused an attack on Marley, and everything like that happened. So they were already in Marley at that time. They were trying to convince people that Eldia were actually good people, but something changed during that time, and Eren just went like that. They thought maybe he may have talked to Zeke or something like that, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. And there, and so back in the present, Connie and the others were talking about how if Eren really is the same person they knew. He mentioned how Eren laughed when Sasha died. He wasn't sure what there was to laugh about it. But after he laughed, Eren had that angry look in his eyes. So I'm sure that he was definitely upset with Sasha's death, because he also told them all that he doesn't want any of them to inherit his Titan, because they're the people that he cares about the most, and he wants them to live long lives. So I'm not sure why he laughed, but the face he made after that means to me that he did care about Sasha's death. I just want to know what changed with Eren in the past 2 years. Because 2 years ago, he still seemed like the same Eren that we knew at the end of season 3. And I'm just wondering what happened to him like that. Why did he just suddenly decide to go off and forget everything and just declare war on Marley like that? Parody is not ready to fight a war like this. Now the nation has equipped as Marley, and now I think they may even know that the Pure Titans are gone. Well, I'm not sure how they would know, but the fact that Parody is able to make it here means that something has changed in the island over the past 4 years. So I don't think we've seen everything just yet. I think maybe we need one more flashback episode to explain everything. Maybe the third flashback will be them all going to Marley, and then finally we'll see what Eren changed over there. Maybe he had a meeting with Zeke or something, and then for Historia, so we saw that she was actually pregnant. So she herself chose her mate. It was someone that she knew when she was a kid, and after she opened up her orphanage, that person worked there for several years, and Historia chose that person all on their own. Some of the aliens over there were not so happy with the way things were going, and they're thinking maybe they should have Historia eat Zeke and start the plan early. They didn't like that, they were just waiting around when they could just do it right then and there. But a lot of people over here just didn't want to sacrifice Historia like that. And also I noticed that when Hizuru had arrived, like people on Parody keep discussing like they don't even know what a nation is. Because they haven't really met the world outside the walls. They're just like toddlers learning how to walk, as Pixis said. That's not exactly the way he worded it though, but it was something like that. They don't know what the world is like outside Parody Island. They don't understand the separate nations about how they discuss and everything. And Pixis says that they're just learning everything, and that they're making just naive assumptions based on their experiences compared to the people outside the sea. So it still amazes me how little they know of the world, or rather how little we knew of the world before we made it to the basement and saw the whole truth. And seeing them cope with everything too, I imagine it was going to take a long time, because the world you thought you knew your whole life is a lie, and now you're seeing the truth about it, and it's hard to get used to it now. So I can see how that part may be affecting a lot of them, and I can see why they're pessimistic to trust others because of the life they used to live all this time. So yeah, I'm just loving how they're showing how Parody has changed over the years, and how the people of Parody are changing too. How they're starting to open up to new people, how they're meeting different people, and not just the ones they thought they knew inside the walls. They're changing so much, and I'm not sure how they're handling all of it. What else I have to say? And Eren told Hanji that he took the Warhammer Titan's powers and that he can break out anytime he wants to, and that there's nothing Hanji can actually do to threaten him. He doesn't understand why Hanji is there. And Hanji said Eren's biggest mistake was trusting her to be the new leader of the Scouts, saying that she couldn't probably do it. And I don't think I have much to say. I did forget the information available though. I almost forgot that again. Let's see. Okay. Information available for public disclosure. Hizuru, a small eastern nation with its own unique culture whose head of state is called a shogun. Producing many talented engineers, Hizuru has flourished in weapons and aircraft development and was at one time an ally of the Eldian Empire. The crest of the shogun depicts 3 single-edged swords in its design. Okay, so they're just talking about Hizuru and how they helped the Elden people like that. I don't know what else I have to say about this episode. There's so much to talk about this, almost as much as when we finally had the basement reveal from season 3. I just love seeing how it's all developing now, and I can't wait to see more. I mentioned all the main points, and I'm just waiting for them to show more. So I guess I'll wait until then, until they talk more about it. So let's see how all this continues next time. Is Eren going to try and escape on his own, and how much are they going to tell us now? Maybe next time they'll talk about when they went to Marley and when Eren put his plan into motion. So let's see how all that turns out then on Attack on Titan. Thank you for watching my reaction to this episode, and I will see you all next time. Bye.